Yes, I just woke up and it looks like I stuck my finger right into an electric socket, hence my messy, messy, messy hair. I'm so glad I'm not religious anymore. I really am. When I was religious, I was so naive, and I mean, I still am naive on a lot of different things. I was so ignorant. Still am ignorant on a lot of things, but it's just when I was religious, I was clouded by so much. My mind was in a different part of my brain. And it's stories like this, things like this, which make me... which I don't regret leaving religion. Not at all. I'm so glad I left it. I'm so glad that I'm my own person now, and that I can think rationally and outside the box without bringing in religious dogma for my beliefs, because I've come to the realization that most people who hold to convictions based upon religious beliefs are idiots. Not all, but most who hold specific beliefs based upon what a 2,000-year-old book says. I'm sorry, but it's really hard for me to take anything you have to say seriously when you believe in that stuff.
The 31-year-old was 17 weeks pregnant when admitted to hospital in Galway. She died after suffering a miscarriage and septicemia, an infection of the blood. Praveen Halap Hanavar, who has returned to his native India, says his wife had agonizing back pain and asked staff several times to terminate her pregnancy. He alleges that they refused to do so because there was a fetal heartbeat present, and that they told her, "This is a Catholic country." Belfast now has a private abortion clinic, the first anywhere on the island of Ireland. It opened amid protest last month. You could not find a more emotive subject here.
There's a huge stigma and a huge silence around abortion in this country. 12 women a day travel over to the UK, often not telling anyone where they're going. It's something that Irish people don't talk about, but I think this has been quite polarising. I think regardless of the results of that investigation, I think it's clear to people that there is a lack of clarity in the law, that it may be jeopardising women's lives, and that we want action now.
Torture a woman for 3 days until she dies. If that isn't pro-life, I don't know what is, folks. You know, if men were able to get pregnant, there would be no question about the legality and the availability of abortions. No, I take that back. If men were able to get pregnant, abortion would be on demand and more available than a fast food joint than McDonald's or Starbucks. But I gotta give 10 full points for religion. Go religion! You did it again! Keep on telling me how much you value life and how much you want to fight for the sanctity of life, because I'm certainly going to listen to everything religion says about that, because we know deep down that's what you want. You want that value life. You want to keep life alive. Good job! But here's the thing. The Catholic Church refuses to learn that they really have no right to use the government to force their religious dogma upon an unwilling population. It almost seems to me that the long and bloody history of the Catholic Church and how the Catholic Church used to try to dictate England almost seems to have been forgotten by most people. And I thought this was an interesting quote in the article from the husband of this girl. He said his wife vomited repeatedly and collapsed in the restroom that night, but doctors wouldn't terminate the fetus because its heart was still beating. So guess what, Ireland, or I should say the Catholic, guess what, the Pope, guess what, the Catholic Church? Now you have two hearts that are not beating. And what's worse is that you have two hearts that are not beating, and you have one broken heart from the husband. Good Catholic leadership skills? They must be so pleased. You know what this reminds me of? It reminds me back in the day when we used to throw women in the river or lake, and if she didn't float, then she was not a witch. All the while, she's not a witch, and she's tied up, drowning in the water. That's really kind of what this situation is right here. But I guess what really angers me about this story is the fact that this woman had to suffer for 3 days. 3 days. Her child was dying. Miscarriage. The child was already going to be lost to begin with, and they refused to terminate or help this woman or save this woman's life due to her miscarriage that she was having. They essentially killed this woman when her fetus was not salvageable. A 17-week-old fetus is not going to survive such an incident. Yet somehow, they just permitted this woman to die. This is one of the reasons why I oppose religion and law being combined, because this is what happens. And if God exists, thank God that Santorum and Ryan and Mitt Romney didn't get voted into presidency, because I honestly think if they were in our country, if they were in power, I think we would see a lot more of this type of shit. And that scares me, it really does. The fact that religion takes a higher role in saving in what someone does with their own body, and to the point that it kills someone else. It took someone else's life. You know, people say, oh, religion is all about helping people, about loving people, and about being equal and treating people equally. No, it's not. Most religion, if not all religion, is somehow rooted in some religious power to where people use their beliefs to tell other people what they can and cannot do. And that's why I oppose religion so strongly. I don't hate religious people, well, there are some exceptions, but I hate religion because this is what religion does. It hurts people a lot more than it takes in. It damages people lots more than it heals. How can a free country impose a death sentence on this woman because she has an unfortunate pregnancy with some complications? To me, and this is just my opinion, there was an intentional murder by the country of Ireland, because the country of Ireland, it's not completely dominated by the Catholic Church. I realize that a lot of people in Ireland are actually not religious, but there is still religious power within government in Ireland. And it is because of the Catholic Church control that this happened. That's why this happened. It wasn't, oh, it's illegal to do. It's, oh, we're Catholics. We can't do that. We don't believe in that. So we can't help you. So we're just going to have 2 people die instead of 1. But I guess I'll just summarize this video with one final sentence. You and me must eliminate and try to prevent any religious invasion onto our laws regarding women's health and reproductive issues. We need to be fighting this. And thank God Mitt Romney did not get elected, because like I just mentioned earlier, I think this would be even a bigger issue in America, and it's an issue right now even still, but it would be even worse in America right now if those crazy people were elected in power in the United States of America. But I don't know. I really don't know what else to say in this video besides what was done was just sick and inhumane and wrong for so many reasons. Even my mom, who happens to be a Christian and religious, when I told her the story, she was shocked. And she even told me that religion should take no part in decisions such as a woman who's having pregnancy complications and already in physical pain and having a miscarriage wants to have her life saved, is declined to have an abortion simply because, oh, that's not the Catholic thing to do. Oh, that's not the Christian thing to do. How do I say it nicely? Fuck religion. Peace out.